What's up, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164, and I wanted to do this one here. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Every now and then, I got to keep on putting out some of this here just to let us know, because a lot of us have friends, and these friends are real good to us. They're nice, and because our friends are very nice to us, a lot of times we get hypnotized because we don't want to offend our friends, because a lot of times our friends are white people. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying that that white person is not your actual friend. He's probably a nice person. But you got to understand that white friend does not stop racism. It never will. And if you can't talk about what's on your mind around your friend, what's going on, everybody? Press the thumbs up, share the button. We're just going to do this one real quick just to show a couple of points. We'll try to have a larger discussion probably on Saturday. So right now we're just coming through, drop a few hits, what's going on, everybody. But like I said, just because we have friends, we got friends, and they're really good friends. And I'm not saying that these people are not good people that you know. But if knowing them, if knowing that white person changes you and makes you say, "Oh, there is no racism," or you don't want to talk about racism because I have white friends, I work around white people. Oh, I go here and I go there, and I know some really good ones. They probably are very good, but now you've turned into something else because you feel that you found acceptance. And that's what I want to kind of talk about. We gotta stop that, because the thing is, you're actually continuing racism by not being yourself. If you can't be yourself around your friends, then they're not your friends. They're your controllers. That's what's happening. It's subconscious. It's a built-in programming. It's trained. But if you gotta twist your toes, for example, you shouldn't have to change up or do anything different just because you have some Asian friends, or because you have some friends from Jamaica or China or something like that, or some Latin friends. But when you get these white people, these white friends, for some reason y'all pretend like, when black folks say, "Oh, this is racist," or "That's racist," or "This happened," or we need to support the black businesses, or we need to do something to help black folks, y'all act like y'all not a part of black people anymore. Some of y'all act like that. And this is why we got to do this, because the thing is, it is proven over and over again. It's proven all the time. Racism keeps happening, even when you have your friends that are white. And so what I want to do is want to share a couple of things here. Actually, this one here. So we had a situation I just seen, and I'm gonna share a couple of clips. And these are recent things, guys. Actually, you know what? No, not that. So yeah, these are recent things. See, there was a situation where there's a teacher. She's in some college. All her students in that class are white. So that tells me one thing right there. We're in a place where, we're not welcomed. Anytime you're in a place where you're not welcome, if you're in a big crowd of these people, then, you got to be ready for anything. I'm sorry. You got to be ready for everything. So some of y'all might have seen this clip, but I want to show this because I want to talk about it. So Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, let me put the volume on.
Teachers really be getting tested.
Ooh.
Pages.
Ooh.
Are you serious?
First off,
Who threw this shit?
my sister, she's very beautiful. But with her natural body, she's a black woman. Her suit is kind of well fitting. It's very well fitting. Now I know a lot of y'all, there's no problem with that, and that's her problem. It's okay. But you got to realize where you're at. If you're not dressing, if you're not understanding what's happening, where you at, you're gonna get, a certain response, and that's fine if she's ready for the response. But that's what's happening in the society that we're in. So I mean, she has a naturally beautiful body, but at the same time, she's a teacher. So I don't know if you want people to look at you in a certain way. I'll say it that way.
Who threw this shoe at me? Literally, who threw this shoe? Get the police. Get the police. Who threw this shoe? Who threw this shoe? Speak up. Was it you?
So now, what I need everybody to understand here, there's multiple people in this classroom. They are all together. They are not snitching on each other. It's her against all of them. You see how they operate. I'm trying to get some of us to understand something. Do we see this? And this happens most of the time. This is how white folks operate most of the time. This is why they win over, black folks, because black folks would have been, hey, why you do that? Oh, hell, it was her. Well, straight up told, it wouldn't have been nothing, just would have told, which is fine. But they're not doing it. They're completely quiet. They're just looking straight ahead.
So you ain't.
Now look at her. Look at her face. You can tell she's been talking, and she hates this woman too. You can look at her eyes. She hates this woman. And it's probably because they don't have bodies like her. They're probably jealous. Now this woman here, she put her shoe up, put her whole leg and everything up. She don't care. I'm just saying, look at the look. And you know what's amazing too? Look how small this class is. And a lot of black classrooms, it's a huge class size. I'm just studying the look on these people's face, the tattoos, and how they lie. It's not mine. And she put her foot right up in the face, like, I'm gonna lie right in your face. What you gonna do about it? Say no to bullying. Football game. Science is cool. Are you serious? This is like an elementary school. Is this college? Okay.
This is definitely your shoe. No, it's not. Are you serious right now? That's not my shoe. Are you serious right now? You really took your shoe off and thought it was okay to throw a shoe at me? That's not my shoe. It's definitely your shoe. Really? Really? This is your shoe? No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Really? I am proving it. You have one shoe on and one shoe off. I just wore one shoe. Literally, at this point.
So now the woman now this girl is trying to use her black vernacular.
Let me express something to you. I am not your mother. I did not come to school to play with nobody else's kids. Okay. That was totally disrespectful for you to throw a shoe while I'm trying to teach my class.
And somebody had it on recording because they knew it was going to happen. So this is what we got going on. I want to see. I'm just getting irritated by just watching it. I mean, some of y'all can watch stuff straight up.
Put your shoe on, get ready to get up. I'm gonna get out of my classroom. No, you actually really starting to irritate me. I'm talking about on a whole nother level. I have tried.
Now the white girl wants the teacher to beat her up so that way she can prosecute her or something like that. A lot of times y'all go into these spaces and they have more rights. Their parents have more ability to manipulate the system because that's what racism is. These people know that they got you cornered. You're in their system. You're in their house. What are you going to do? You're going to beat me up? Or are you going to try to, report me? Ain't nothing going to happen.
I have to be nice. I have tried to be civil with you. You being disrespectful. I'm not tired of nothing. I'm not tired of nothing. At this point, I don't even want you out of my classroom. I want you gone from the school because if you act like this, you don't have that authority. Oh, I got authority. But look at me, what I'm talking about.
There we go. You don't have that authority. See, they know about racism. These people know racism. They know what authority you have and what you don't have. This girl is like, you don't have the authority to get rid of me. I'm white. Okay, y'all, let's see. Y'all better recognize. That's what the woman,
It's a sign of disrespect. Really?
Oh my God, it's so irritating.
You disrespect at me when I'm trying to teach my lesson. What you do about it?
What you gonna do about it?
Something else.
All right. Who else is in this class? 8 minutes. Nobody got the police. Let's see. There's the police. All right.
Like your job is to do is go out there and teach. Your job is to go
So now you got the black man that comes in. So the police is a black man. Now, if that police officer had been a white man, the system may not have won. And I want that to be understood.
Out my class, but not only out my class, I want her out in school because she disrupted my class, she disrespected me, she threw a shoe, all that stuff you see, she threw all that. She needs to be gone. She needs to be gone. Like straight up.
Is my shoe on my
Did you
foot?
throw a shoe?
Is my shoe on my
I
foot?
asked you a question. Did you throw a
Does
shoe?
it look like there's a shoe thrown? Like what you made me say?
You need to go.
You're weird. You can't do this.
Yeah, you better get
I'm
out.
literally a kid.
Get out.
No,
You have a backpack?
what?
You have a backpack?
I'll get that later. She
Are
needs
you
to go.
serious?
I don't even want to learn my practice. Like, seriously. Wow. Wow. I don't want her ever again here. She needs to go.
Oh my goodness.
Literally. Hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing, class. You follow behind that, it's only two places you gonna go in life.
Teachers really.
All right, so at least that one turned out decent, the end of it. But like I said, I just wanted to show that one and just to see what the people thought about it. The reason why that girl behaved that way is because of racism. She believed that she had the privilege to do that. And she felt because she's in the system that when the authorities came down to it, she was going to be protected. Excuse me. She was going to be protected. And just so happened that it was a brother that backed up the teacher. So you got sisters, you got to have your men. Men, you got to have your women. You got to back each other up. That's how you end racism. Excuse me. That's how you end racism. So if you don't do it with division. So the thing is, yep, exactly. If you are divided, that that result would have turned out differently. But you see, division in our community makes us weak. This is why I take more problems. I take more, excuse me. So it's like when I deal with black folks, I don't deal with black people in a way that is just like I deal with everybody equally. No, I don't do that because we're not living in an equal society. You see, black folks, one of your main Achilles heels is you're try always to be fair. You're always trying to be fair in your mind. And your definition of fairness and justice, you're not in a situation where you can actually do that. I'm sneezing like crazy. Yeah, you're not in a situation where you can be fair and use justice. So what ends up happening here is that you are always losing, because if your other group of people they're privileging their own folks, but you're being fair to everybody. So you're always losing. And a lot of times you're being fair to everybody because you feel like that's how you want people to treat you. But they don't treat you fairly. Unfortunately, they don't treat you fairly because you were nice to them. Like she said, I was being nice and respectful and all that kind of stuff. That's not why they respect you. The rest of the class, they respect you because when she treated that teacher disrespectful, the teacher was able to enforce her position and her authority. And she wasn't able to physically enforce her authority with her own hands. She had a brother back up who had the authority to put hands on the student properly. And that's how things get done. So like I said, that's the reason why it's very important for us to understand that we got to unify around things. We can't just go when we have a disagreement with each other, or people come up, even if, we're disrespecting each other. These type of things have to be worked out. You have to find these solutions to try to keep people functioning together. Like I said, our friends, just because, and like I said before, we got to learn this nuance. We got to learn how to actually deal with what's actually true. So, let's look at this situation. Jacksonville, Florida, you got a satanic devil, right? He had went there, did a mass murder in Jacksonville, Florida. And let's look at it real quick. Let me see. So this is interesting to me. Now you look at him. Look how smug he looks. Smiling. This is the picture that the media puts out. That's the picture. And he went to, hold on a second. So he went here just to murder black people. They say he tried to go to a school first. The school learned a lesson. They didn't let him in. The school learned a lesson and did not let him in, which is good. And there's some other situations like that too. I'll show you here on Twitter. Black folks are finally starting to learn that forgiveness and the idiot stuff. Here's another one. This man
church in Ambridgeboro, Pennsylvania, and tried to do the same thing that Dylann Roof did in Charleston, South Carolina. Let's get into it. Harris was first spotted on Dust Avenue and 4th Street around 9 a.m., and he was armed. There he threatened 2 women outside of the church. He also tried to get in, but couldn't because the doors were locked, and the church was very crowded that day, mind you. And so then he went around to the town center. One of the women was fortunately able to notify the police. They say that they received the first report or the call around 9 a.m. of a white male who was armed, and he was wearing a red hat, a white t-shirt, and a cameo vest. Please pay attention. Police say that he ain't.
So that's that. So my point is, we're playing that. The point is this. You know, we got to understand that these people are out here. The only way you're going to overcome this stuff, because it's getting worse and worse. So you're heading for a showdown type conflict. Okay, this is what you're heading for, black folks. So this white gunman killed 3 black people in a racially motivated attack at the Dollar. So they're coming to your territory, they're coming to your neighborhoods and just shooting you. And because they're mad that, you know, in Montgomery, black people stood together. And we'll talk a little bit more about that same family. You got to keep standing together. This is what we call an actually protracted warfare. Just because you were born in it and because you go to school, and this is not Afghanistan warfare where you got to inscript inside of a governmental agency or you're trained. This is where you live type warfare. This is where you grew up. So this is a battle between power. Are you people, you black folks, going to have the power to do what you need to do to, you know, elevate yourself and your type of folks? Or are you going to continue to be held at a certain ceiling where we can just continue to use violence and tap you down and knock you back down? That's what this battle is about. So we know this guy went to Dollar General. He shot and murdered 3 black folks. And then, you know, as soon as we start talking like this, then we're going to get folks who say, you know, well, you know, black folks murder each other all the time. Black people murder. See, anytime we start talking about these issues, then we get these people from, you know, what about Chicago? Chicago is a city with millions of people. If 10 people get shot and killed, it's way less, you know, statistically than, you know, what's happening in a lot of these small towns in rural America. They have a lot of mass murders, where whole families get murdered. Like, you can go ahead and list it, pull it on Google, just endless murders in these small towns. They're murdering each other's families. They're murdering their sisters. They're murdering their husbands, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, this is America, okay? This is the failure of this state. So, but we going back into this here. I'm just giving us something here to you know, update us, because a lot of times, a lot of us are scared to talk about racism. We're scared to talk about oppression because we don't want to be seen as victims. Okay, you don't have to have a victim mentality, but you are a victim of racism. It's true. But the victim mentality means you just decide that you can't do anything about it. No, we have solutions to it, but the point is, don't sit up here pretending like it's not true. You know, just because we got these white people that buys a Final Call newspaper and smiles. White people buy Final Call newspapers, but, you know, regardless of what a lot of black folks don't believe, white people do buy Final Call newspapers because they're interested in learning what's out there. It's a lot of the black folks who, what's going on? No, they're not ashamed. If the only reason why they would be ashamed is if they're not friendly white people. The friend, now if you can't, and that's what I said earlier. We got white friends, and they are probably really good people. They're good friends, but they don't stop racism. And like I said, right now I'm just doing a little conversation. I would like to talk to us about this. I would like us to have a conversation about this, probably like Saturday, where we can really sit here and talk. And I mean, if some white people hear it, it would be good because I would like them to come up here. Because it's not about the person, the individual. Your racism is about a systemic situation. So, like,
In my classroom, you're being disrespectful, totally.
hold on.
Oh, you're gonna go somewhere.
I'm not going
See, this
anywhere.
girl-
You're definitely gonna go somewhere.
Make me.
You're
I'm
going
not
to
going
go
anywhere.
out my classroom.
Hold on. Let's do this.
TikTok, hold on. You've got to see this. Black folks do not go nowhere. Remember the ones that just effed around and found out at the marina in Alabama, the Alabama brawl? Yeah, that's the family right there. Now, you know they have a mini mart that they own. It's called Vesser's Mini Mart. So we went to Google and we saw the reviews. They just updated the pictures. These people just updated their pictures on their Google reviews because, let me just show you. Y'all ready for this? Let me pick myself down to a little guy. But before I do, TikTok, this is for the black community. This is for our safety. This is for our security. Do not delete this video because the public needs to know that the people at this company is involved in hate crimes and hateful activity that is against federal law. So do not delete this TikTok. Let me pitch myself down to a little guy. You see it. That is an authentic Klan's mask. And the sad part about this, now we know why they confronted the black employee like that. But the sad part is they own this mini mart and they're doing this, which means they are active members. This is not something he just had around from his grandpa. No, they are active members. This is why he did this. And
remember that time when I was talking to you that I actually talked to some of these Klan members. Like I said, these people, this is their family. They grow up in this. This is their whole community. They all up in here. They're working at these jobs. Any black person or black people that's living in this whole area, they talking to Klan people, but whether they know it or not.
Again, the law need to step in because these are intimidation tactics. They fooled around and found.
And I don't know why this brother think the law is gonna step in. They work at the police station. That's the reason why they act like this. Just like this girl. This girl act like she act with this teacher. It just so happened that we had just so that girl's acting like that because she think the authority figures are going to support her. She threw this shoe.
Teachers really be getting tested.
Ooh,
Pages.
ooh.
So she threw a damn shoe at the teacher, didn't want to say she did it. They lie straight to your face, put the foot in your face. And then now, just so happened the police is, uh-oh. And listen to the voice of the sister when a black police officer walk in. It gets louder.
You're not going nowhere.
You need to leave.
Why don't
You
you
gotta
just
brush
go
up
out there
your
and teach? Like your job is to do is go
My
out there
job
and
is
teach.
you.
That's your
Thank
job
you.
is to
You
do.
messed that up. You messed that up.
She's supposed to
I literally want her out my class, but not only out my class, I want her out in school because she disrupted my class, she disrespected me, she threw a shoe, all that stuff you see.
Now look at the other white kids. Now they will tell on her because they see, oh shit, it's a black man. The teacher wins. The teacher wins. You see, this is why I'm trying to. The only reason why we don't throw each other away with this male and female stuff is because you have to back each other up. You can argue with each other properly about a lot of stuff, but you don't allow anybody to cross the line because, like I said before, that's how slavery happened. If you treat each other just like every other enemy, then you can be made to do things to each other that will eventually happen to you. You know, if you notice with white countries, they will enslave, steal from black countries, but they won't do that to each other. So that, you know, that's the reason why this stuff is important. That's the reason why I'm saying that you can't just, just believe just because you got good relations right now, you thinking that, everything's hunky-dory. Because then somebody will run this kind of game on you.
We help out with the tools now so that they don't have an impossible is growing.
This is racism here. For him to be able to even say this.
The fastest in the very poorest places. And so it's really an acute problem in a certain number of places, and we've got to make sure is growing the fastest.
He said the population is growing the fastest in the very poorest places. I guess he's talking about Africa, Brazil, the places where black folks and non-white people live. And that's a problem.
In the very poorest places. And so it's really an acute problem in a certain number of places, and we've got to make sure that we help out with the tools now so that they don't have an impossible situation later. The problem is that the population is growing the fastest in the very poor.
Right. So, anyway, like I said, guys, I just wanted to come up here and say this. I'm going to actually highlight a couple of other stories just to put on our mind. Larry Elder, he loves white people. But guess what? He's suing. Larry Elder to file FEC complaint Thursday alleging that RNC, the Republican National Committee, and Fox News could be fined up to $100 million. Republican president, basically Larry Elder is mad because he's saying that they're being racist against him, and they're not letting him get onto the debate scene. So he says he met all the criteria, Elder asserted. 40,000 individual donations. The national polls showing me at 1% or better. They rejected one of the national polls, he added. Elder said that the Rasmussen pollster that was rejected was alleged to be connected to former President Donald Trump, but he said even the poll company knows it has nothing to do with Trump. I have no idea why I'm not on the debate stage. Because you black, and they can do that, and they can. They don't want you. They want Vivek. They're picking and choosing. They don't want no black folks. They don't want that black face up there. I don't care how much you trash your own people. How many white friends you got just because you're married to your white wife. If you look on the Supreme Court, the one who the Democrats attack is Clarence Thomas. They don't attack none of the other conservative Supreme Court justices. Why do they attack Clarence Thomas? Because he's the black man, and black people trash him already. So of course he's easy to attack him, and they try to run charges on him and get rid of him. That's never happened before. So that's that. Michael Steele, he's a conservative guy. He's got to fight the Republican National Committee. He was the chairman. He was riveted in a dispute between the chairman, Michael Steele, and the faction. See, they don't name them. And faction of RNC establishment veterans that threatens to undermine Steele's ability to put his stamp on the National Party. The latest flashpoint, basically, saying that one thing led to another. It spiraled out of control. These are the Jews and the Palestinians here. It's interesting. The clash comes at an especially inopportune time for Steele and the GOP. Things got off to a rough start by delivering a series of public gaffes in auspicious debut that was followed by a disappointing loss in special election in New York's 20th congressional district. So these guys are in a bunker mentality. The RNC member said of Steele, I understand why they feel that way. Anyway, so basically, they're not going to let him have too much power. They just wanted to put his face up there. They just want to put Michael Steele's face up there to prove to everybody, to trick everybody that they're not racist. That's all this is. They just want to trick everybody that they're not racist. Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yup. Yeah. And he really wasn't a fall guy for the abortion. They just seen, oh, here's an opportunity to get rid of him. See, they gonna get rid of you because you're weak, and it's racism only because y'all are weak. If you see, it's not him personally. It's just because he's a member of a weak group. And just because y'all try to pretend like, oh no, I'm just a human being that happens to be black. See, when y'all start talking like that, y'all not getting it. Y'all weak because you're divided. You know, you're divided because other groups of people can tell you, oh, your women hate you. And then somebody else can come in their ear and say, oh, your men hate you. It don't matter all the history you can show that the people, you know, did for each other in history and all the sacrifices they made to each other. You're allowing somebody else to come in your ear and tell you about your own kind instead of just talking to your own kind and dealing with the problems. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, and I mean, and even that. So, and this is the last thing I'm going to end off on. I had a little mini debate with my cousin online. Hopefully he's listening. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can have a bigger conversation about this on Saturday if y'all get a chance. But this here, Akon, this is how racism happens in your own country. Now this is your country. Now, listen to this.
China.
Hold on. This is Vlad stuff. This is fair use. This is fair use. Copyright. Okay, Section 107, Copyright Act, 1976. We get to use this for commentary purposes, criticism, news reporting, teaching, and scholarship. That's what we're doing. We criticize it. So this is fair use, guys. So let me play this. Listen to the question. You know, Vlad is so good at asking these real slick questions.
China has done more for Africa than any other country. I mean, it's true. That's not.
And you're going to agree with it. You're an African. Now listen to the question again.
China has done more for Africa than any other country. I mean, it's true.
Lord, Africa is not a country. Listen to the question again.
China has done more for Africa than any other country. I mean, it's true.
He's so dumb. Dude, you know how many countries in Africa? So you telling me that China has done more for Africa than any country, even the ones inside of Africa? Okay. But if you say something, then somebody got mad at me for saying that. To me, he should be embarrassed to say that. But let's listen more.
That's not something anybody can argue with. I mean, they came, they laid down infrastructure. They actually did something that the European countries been around for 400 years and did nothing. That's why you see Africa now hasn't been developed. This was the responsibility of France, Great Britain,
God damn, bro. He listened to that. He said this is the responsibility of who?
Of France, Great Britain.
What?
France, Great Britain. This was the responsibility of France.
Are y'all serious?
Italy, Germany. These guys have been in Africa forever, and it's never been developed. China just started putting interest in Africa. Now you have roads, roundabouts. Like they're actually putting structure down.
And they redid this on African Stream. This is embarrassing. I don't understand. Am I the only one embarrassed by that? No. I mean, he's not. He's been paid by the Chinese. He got $1 billion loan. So, of course. Bro, but I can't even believe. I can't believe that he said that. He kept saying it. You telling me that it's not the responsibility of the African people who live in Africa, who built the pyramids, who built, great Zimbabwe, who was the richest man in history, Mansa Musa, who had all of these great kingdoms and stuff. It's not y'all responsibility to build your own nations. It's the responsibility of France, Germany, and guess what? I'm the bad guy for saying that. I don't understand. It's not that I'm putting Akon down. I like Akon because in his mind, he's doing way more than me. He brought lights. Let's see, look at this. Akon, he got lights. He's back on Vlad. He brought I don't want to show this one. I'm just gonna play it.
One of the things that John Sally told me, which was interesting, and you might have an interesting perspective on this because you do business.
Now, anytime Vlad bring up somebody else's name, his job is to create this controversy. He's going to pit what they say against what you say to get conflict.
This with China, right? Because they gave you $1 billion loan for these solar panels.
Yeah.
So Akon ain't gonna say nothing. No, he ain't no con. I'm not gonna say he a con. I'm not gonna say that. The reason why I'm not gonna say that, Leroy, is because look, he comes from Senegal. He sees his society. He was raised in America, though. He was raised, I believe, in Philly. But he comes from Senegal. So when he go home, he sees shanty towns. He see people can't do nothing in the dark. He made a deal with China to do this solar project, and it got done for his people. That's what we would like. Now, if he got to trick everybody else to get what he want done for his people, he made that delivery to his people. There's lights there. So I'm not going to call him nothing bad, but I'm saying that him believing he's done more for Africa. It's not China. You are the son of Africa. You take the credit. You see what needs to be done. You go out, you find partners to help you do something for your people that they need. That's how you're supposed to do it. But you don't give the credit like, oh, it was them did it. That's the problem. It's like telling your kids Santa Claus is bringing the toys when you know you're the one who brought it. You lying to your children. Because without you, those things would not have been there, but you got to get a credit to a big fat white man. We got to get out of that. That's racism. That's teaching them to worship outside forces instead of looking for them into themselves for the solution. That's racism. Because they're not looking at themselves and their kind, their other brothers and sisters. They're looking at white, Chinese, Germans, Europeans, Frenches. Now, yeah, I'm sure it's something we could pull up Akon, cooning and buffooning and, doing something bad or something crazy. But I'm going to say it like this. For his people, he got them lights there. In there, in his towns at nighttime, them solar panels. You can't that's a physical reality, and that's the one thing I will not do. Even if I have a problem with somebody on some other level, but I'm not going to pretend that they didn't do anything. If they did something, I don't care who it is. If they're doing something on this level that I agree with, I'm not going to. Well, I don't like them, so I'm not going to. Say what they did that was good. No, we got to start being accurate because that's how we want people to be with us. If I want people to take my words and to take my deeds and give me credit for the good part that I do, and just because I make a mistake or if they call me out on this thing, which is true too, I might do something wrong. I don't want them to keep throwing that negative thing up in my face as if I never did anything right. That's not right. We can't do that. And we shouldn't do that because, you know, like I said, black folks, we're supposed to try to be fair. So we're fair with everybody except for us sometimes, or each other. And I mean, it's hard to do, but that's just my philosophy on it. I'm real big on not being harder on other black people than, you see, white folks. They're not. Oh, you know what? I want to show you one more thing about this. This is a deep.
And now they mad, so they want a mini mart that they own. It's called Vesser's Mini Mart. So we went to Google and we.
Yeah, so we know that these people are racist. But let me show y'all this one thing, and then I'm gonna end it off on this for real. This teacher thing. This is deep. When that black police officer came in there, remember how the white, look at this. When the teacher first came, look at the students' faces. They're not gonna say nothing.
Was it you?
Nope, nobody's talking. Look at that. They're not respecting that woman.
This is definitely your shoe.
Definitely disrespect. Look at that. She's not saying she did it. She did it. No, we've seen her do it. See, she's not going to turn against her white classmate for this teacher, this black female teacher. But when it's time to pay the piper, the police comes in. Now look at the face of this same girl.
Out my class, but not
See, now the hood comes on. Oh shit.
only out my.
Now look at the face. It's different. Like now a little bit of concern. Oh shit. I'm about to get in trouble for real. You know, they don't want them consequences. Now it's like, oh snap. I rolled the dice and I came up snake eyes.
I want her out in school because she disrupted my class. She disrespected me.
Now look at it. Look at it now. Yes, we agree, teacher. See, white folks is something else, man. Under some punishment, they will act right. Under some punishment, they'll act right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, he'll answer the question. You got to look at that interview. He'll answer. He did receive that $1 billion. Is that the question you're talking about? Yeah, he did receive the $1 billion. He said, yeah. But I'm just saying, you know, like I said, guys, you know, tune in Saturday. We're going to try to get into it a little bit more. Y'all bring your topics, pull up your stuff for the week so we can, you know, hit it up. And, you know, we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it do what it do. And love y'all. Peace out. You know, we're going to have our arguments, but it's all in the spirit of love. That's what we need to do. Have that spirit of love debate. We got to have love at the core. If you don't have it there for your brothers and sisters, these are your brothers and sisters. They didn't, just because they're crazy, just because they're selling you out, there is a brotherhood and sister there. Now, are they brotherhoods in the faith and all that kind of stuff? Are you going to turn your back to them? Are you going to be naive and stupid? No. But you got to lead that pathway for a change, because you got to have that pathway, because that's the pathway that you want open for yourself and for, you know, people that you care about. Otherwise, it never has the opportunity to repair itself. You're not giving the person or people an opportunity to grow. Maybe they realize the error of their ways later and they turn a new leaf. It's not likely to happen, but it might happen. Never know. So, you know, that's the line that I won't cross. You know, I will criticize people. And if they need to go to jail, they may need to be punished. They may need to be, you know, taken out for whatever deed that they've done. But will I start speaking of them as if they are, you know, not of who they are, or they don't have the proper lineage? No, I'm not going to go that far. because then now you're not just dealing with them as an individual, you're dealing with a whole systemic, issue that's different. So anyway, peace out. Yeah.